This is because I am in a position to lament upon hearing Kiyohara's death. I say I have lost a great opponent. The assumption, of course, is that hatred and murderous intent are only with malcontent elements, not ever with the government. The opposition represents humanity, and the government hypocrisy. I trust you understand this. I am killing Kiyohara not because of hatred or enmity. It's simply because it's barking day and night is a bit too loud. You want to kill a dog when its barking annoys you, don't you?
Oh, I always kill them. In my neighborhood, there's not a single dog alive. Besides, my in-house university students love dog meat and always want it for their cooking pot.
Oh my, the assassination order came from his lordship, Kusano, Hobu. How could I have imagined that my husband was the one who put the lives of my old lover and my son in danger? Where in the world is a woman forced to a realization like this?
I understand how you feel, my lady. I really do.
I may be repeating myself a bit too much, sir, but why didn't you give the assassination assignment to me? I don't want to boast, but when it comes to the number of people killed since before the restoration, no one can beat me. Also, once I target somebody, I never miss. There isn't a single weapon I don't have experience with, not to mention sword, dagger, spear. I've even used matchlock and pistol. Like you, sir, though saying this may be inappropriate, I've never killed anyone from a personal grudge. I followed an order, sir, in every case. Therefore, I can kill as easily as I deliver an entrusted thing to the designated party, and I don't feel any particular pity. I also love to see blood. I'd say it's wasteful to normally wrap it under skin, something that is prettier than maple leaves and blossoms. What refreshes my heart the most are the clear autumn sky and the color of blood. I'm puzzled why you didn't give this work to me. It would be really good for my health, too.
Here you go again. In a different case, I wouldn't have hesitated to turn to you. But this time, we have the best assassin you could hope for. By using him, if it were exposed, it wouldn't be a political assassination. A son kills his father. It's just a personal incident. Just a family incident, you see?
Just as you say, sir.
What is it about a month ago that I met that young man, Kiso? He was staying with you for about half a year. I thought he had something tough to talk about. He lives a life of loathing.
Besides, he doesn't even try to hide that he's Kiyohara's son.
He has a murderous flash in his eyes. This is something you rarely get. Compared with him, you are like a woman who gets excited with joy to see a Yuzin kimono. Your eyes suggest a hobby-like delight at the sight of blood. Of course, I must say that's something to be valued too.
Oh, it's very kind of you to say that, sir.
I had never imagined that his lordship used as a secret weapon a man who says such repugnant, cruel things. This spacious, curiously clothed mansion, I now see, has long been a bloody nest of criminal acts. Kusano, I can no longer take it. I must go out and tell his lordship whatever has to be said.
Wait a little while, my lady. You shouldn't hurry. You must hear adequately what is being said. You have a chance once in a lifetime opportunity.
You are right in what you say, Kusano. I'll try to restrain my disturbed heart for a while and listen to such screaming as would soil the ears. I feel as if my hands and feet were bound in a horrible dream.
But sir, what I have doubts about is the father-son relationship. You may hate your father a great deal, but can you carry that hatred to the end? Even the tip of a sword you've honed with hatred becomes blunt, I'm afraid, once you press it close to your father's face. I know I'm being rude to say this, sir, but I'm afraid you'll not understand this because you've got no children. You see, sir, your child is very lovingly thing to you. They say it wouldn't hurt even if you put your child in your eye. Well, sir, that happens to be true.
May I venture to suppose that you regard the blood of your child as lovely?
Well, sir, that's a wicked joke, sir. When you see your child crawling around, it's so cute you're tempted to put it in your mouth.
Like the favorite sport of the university students you have around, you want to cook it in a pot.
Oh, no, your joke is sickening, if I may say so, sir. Besides, when my angelic child looks at me and gives me a blooming smile, that limpid color in his eyes, when I look at it, I can't imagine that even if we ended up as enemies in the future, he'd ever turn his sword against me.
You understand children's feelings very well, it seems.
Well, sir, I can thoroughly see through them.
That's why I didn't give you the work to you. You can kill only when you don't know the feelings of the man you're killing. To me, that wouldn't be enough. If the killing of Kiyohara were to be carried out on my order, I'd like to have complicated sentiments in between. Hiso's suffering, his hesitation, only when there were enough of such things, and then if that bastard killed his father, could I be satisfied. I love other people's suffering, though I don't necessarily love blood. I want a current of feelings between the one who kills and the one who gets killed, at least the sparks between them. What I'd like to give Kiyohara is not the honor of having been assassinated, but the irrecoverable humiliation of having been killed by his own son's hand.
Just as you say, sir.
Besides, you can't say your comparison is appropriate, can you? Your child is the child you made between yourself and your wife. But Hiso, though he definitely is Kiyohara's son, has a mother whose provenance is utterly unknown, and that's why he suffered throughout his youth.
Even he, my lordship, doesn't know it, but Hiso is my son.
My lady, that is one of the secrets you should keep to yourself. His lordship knew it. Just imagine that is terrifying.
Whatever did you imagine just now?
Oh, my lady, I must say to you that his lordship, cold-hearted though he may be, loves you dearly from the bottom of his heart.
And that's why I'm saying this. The love between blood relationship turns into horrible hatred once it becomes twisted. The relationship between parent and child, between brothers, where there is no flow of understanding, becomes more distant than the one between strangers. I do understand Hiso's hatred of his father. Understand it very well indeed. Politics is the ability to understand the hatreds of people who are strangers to you. You see, it is to take advantage of the hundreds of thousands and millions of cogs of hatred that turn this world around, and then to make move it. Let's see, for example, look at these chrysanthemums. Luxuriant yellow petals piling one upon another. They are gently swaying in the breeze. Now, do you think that they are the end result of the gardener's miraculous caring and love? If you do, you can't be a politician. A politician would understand these chrysanthemums this way. These are the flowering of the gardener's hatred, the gardener's discontent over his poor wages, which leads to the hatred of his master. That is to say, me, that kind of hatred of which the gardener himself is not aware, has congealed and manifests and magnificently translated into that blooming. Every flower raiser smells of vengeance. The same is true of painters, writers, and artists. What they create are large chrysanthemums raised by the hatreds of the powerless.
Just as you say, sir.
Have you read the silly novel called Shichibai, but Suchiro Techo? No. This is not time to talk about novels. I trust all the preparations and details are in place for tonight.
I've talked to Hisao about everything, sir, and nothing is amiss. Her Highness, the Imperial Princess, and her entourage are expected to come to the ball at the Rokumeikan at 10:30 this evening. Kiyohara and his bunch don't want their actions to affect members of the Imperial Court. They are expected to break in before 10. About that time, Kiyohara is supposed to park his hansom outside the fence of the Rokumeikan to use as his command post and observe the development. When Kiyohara's men break in, leaving his cab unguarded, Hisao will attack him out of the darkness. That's the plan, sir.
Sir, that information is wrong. There will be no break-in tonight.
Oh, milady.
Lo and behold, we have a rare guest joining us.
Yes, I have been eavesdropping.
This is something I wouldn't have expected. So you have begun to take an interest in politics, have you? If that is the case, I'd be your guide in politics.
The kind of politics I just heard discussed is of the most despicable kind, since it was the first I heard.
You're right. You happen to see the sewage of politics before anything else. From now on, I will show you the kitchen, the dining room, and the guest room as chance arises. Now, with much confidence, you have just now conveyed to us some fascinating information, have you not?
Well, I do not know if it is fascinating to you, sir.
There's no need to tease me.
I said the break-in at the ball tonight has been abandoned.
I see. I don't know where the information comes from, but do you have a reliable source?
I can't tell you, but I can invoke all the deities of heaven and earth for my words. There will be no break-in tonight.
Invoking the deities of heaven and earth is something you have never done. You can only invoke yourself. You can only invoke your glossy black hair.
Now I can expect noble and beautiful words on politics.
Tobita, you may excuse yourself now. Come, let's hear your political theory. Let's find out definitely where that fascinating information of yours comes from.
A surprise. You smile gently as you always do, as if you were making some joke. You must remember that you are the person whose horrible secret has just been divulged to his eavesdropping wife.
From early on, you've known that nothing surprises me.
I have. But I've had expected you to react at least like a child discovered in hide and seek.